Hello and welcome to Mickey Art, and today I am going to do a bottle bottom pour. Now, as you can see, this one's been used a little bit before, but this is the base of a drink bottle. This one I got given by my friend Linda, and it's very cool because it's got lots and lots of channels. 2, 4, 6, 7 channels. And what 7 channels is an odd number, which apparently is great for composition. I've never studied art, all those sorts of things. Just if it looks a bit odd, I wonder why. And then somebody, one of you wonderful amazing people, tell me in the comments, how did I get so lucky? So what I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to cut out where the paint comes down. I'm hoping it's going to drip more evenly. I'm wondering even if I cut it right through. I might do that. If I can get my scissors in that far. So I'm just cutting it to right where it actually drips off, rather than have it then run down the side a little bit more. Oop. There we go. So let's see if that makes any difference to how well it works. Still want to take a little bit more off in some of those places. Somebody suggested doing the little V and taking it a bit further. How's it getting any better? Alright, now that I've got stuff all over everything, let's clear ourselves a bit of a dust-free space. Okay. I've had a couple of people ask in the comments what I use underneath my underneath my paintings. These are old calendars. Calendars have quite thick paper, which means it doesn't disintegrate instantly. I have used desk pads before, but they tend to be a little bit thinner and they disintegrate a lot more easy. So that's what I use. So what am I doing color wise? I'm feeling very orange and green, if you can't tell by the pots that I have sitting there. Just getting any of those bits of plastic out of my thing. So I'm going to put some silicone in those. I've been very lax with my silicone in the last few videos, and I apologize for that. I just seem to forget. Now, one of the questions I get quite a bit is, what's the ratio of silicone to paint? I don't know. I remember hearing Anne-Marie Ridderhoff talking about one this has got air bubbles in it, chronic. One drip per ounce, fluid ounce of paint. You could give that a go if you wanted. I kind of vaguely go to that, but not really, if you know what I mean. Anyway, now quite often when you do a bottle pour, you'll do it so that you do one colour, one colour, one colour, one colour, one colour, one colour. Sound Asian. I'm going to Tokyo! Yay! Anyway. But this time I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to kind of layer them into the pot, but I'm going to do multiple layers within the pot and then pour it out and see how it goes. So let's give that a go. So I've got Viridian Hue and Vermilion Orange. As you saw, both of those have got silicone. And then I've got my iridescent median, which I really like, and I use it as a paint. So the way I mix my paints is I do Floetrol and water. Floetrol is a paint conditioner originally put out for house paints, still sold for house paints, but it's been discovered by the pouring community, and it's absolutely amazing, and it's super cheap compared to a lot of the other pouring mediums. So all right, that will do. I think that's enough paint in there. So I'm going to move that off to the side, keeping it propped up on my lid. And what I've got here is some leftover paint from the last painting I did, and it had Prussian blue, it had copper, and it had burnt sienna in it. And I'm just gonna kind of make a bit of a smoother surface for the paint to pour around on, just by using this. And you've seen me do this before. It's a great way to use up leftover paint, and just gives you a bit of a base for your paint to slide across. The canvas is quite rough. It's like trying to slide across concrete on your knees. This is like putting ice on the concrete. It's a lot nicer to slide on. Still hard. But a lot nicer to slide on. And easier. And you end up with prettier knees at the end of it. The other thing I'm doing this for is just to give us an edge that's covered in paint. One of the things I've found when doing some pours where you're pouring over something, sometimes you just get this whole sense of, I don't want to have to try and cover the edges. It's so pretty as it is, and if I tilt it some more, I don't want to have to tilt it anymore. So by doing this, if I don't want to, I don't have to. Now, I happen to have brown, and brown happens to go with the colours that I'm pouring. You could use white, you could use black, you could use one of the actual colours that you're pouring if you don't have something just laying around. And you don't have to do this either. You'll just get a different effect at the end. The name of the game in this style of painting, guys, is play, experiment, try things out, watch lots of other people doing videos, try their methods, try their recipes, and see what else is possible. Now, what else have I got here? I've got my little magic jar with a plastic bag and some black tape, and I'm not going to use it. Oh, funny me. I'm so funny. So I'm going to use instead a lid off one of my original porcelain paints, because that will just sit nice and balanced, hold the paint nice, hold the lid nicely, and then we can just start to pour and see what happens when we do this. Now you'll see I poured that quite fast, and I started to turn it part way through, because you'll notice when I lift this off, this side is very iridescent medium, this side's got a lot of green in it. They're both about equal with regards to how much orange. But not equal as to how much paint. So I'm just going to push this leftover paint to even it out a little bit. So now it kind of looks like 7 spiral pours, the easy cheats way. I'm just going to lift that out, put your hand or something underneath it so that it doesn't drip everywhere, and then take that back out and let it sink into the middle. Now just letting it do its thing for a minute. Let me zoom you in so you can have a look at what's going on in there. Okay, so then I've got my creme brulee torch. If I can get it to work, it's been being a little bit naughty lately. Now, 2 things that you use this for: if you've got silicone in there, it kind of invites the silicone to rise to the top by warming the paint. But also, because it's poured off like that, it's trapped little air bubbles inside, and we don't want those still there once it's dried. Now, I'm looking at the amount of paint and I'm not really sure we've got enough. But let's have a go anyway. Sideways. Sideways. Notice how I'm bringing it back into the middle each time before I tilt. I can actually see little owl eyes. Let's see if I can get it to focus on that bit. Can you see little owl face there? Alright, let's tilt it back down the other way. Should have used a spinner and spun this one, but I didn't. Now I'm going to start taking it towards the corners in the hopes that we'll get full coverage. This one is dark already. I'm a little bit concerned about how dark it's going to dry. And how much paint we're going to actually have for these other two corners. Hopefully the iridescence will contribute to lighter brightness. When it dries, but it's definitely going to be dark. Not really quite enough paint on here. I'm really glad I put the initial brown on. Definitely helped. Now I do have some paint left in the cup, so there's a technique that you can use if you need to in a situation like this, and that is that you pour a bead across and then put lots of paint in there so that it's got something to run off, something to drag that rest of it back down. There it goes. You see how that's just started that having some flow happening again. Just wasn't flowing before. Gives it some heaviness and some density to just flow off that back end. There we go. So, in that light, it looks quite bright, and I'm hoping that orange does float up, and so does the iridescent. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? So, after all that dragging, I'm actually going to get the big torch out. I haven't really seen much silicone happening, but I did see a lot of air bubbles just pop just then. Now, what I want you to know is I'm not touching the paint with the flame. I'm keeping it far enough away so that it would be warm on my hand, but not burning. Okay? So, if I was up here, I would be cooking the paint. It would be drying, going caked and yucky. By leaving it far enough away, it just pops the air bubbles, as well as warming the paint just enough to bring any silicone up, if there was some. And I don't think there really is. Although I can see some little patches where it probably is silicone sitting on the top, but oh well. I like it. I do. Let me get you down and show you. So I apologize profusely for the reflection. It is nighttime. I am under lights, and this is shiny paint with sparkles in it. So it's just not gonna be a good capture of this. I apologize. Trying to keep you in the shadows so that you can see. Quite like this little wingsy brush strokey looking thing going on there. So who would have thought something like this would come out of the bottom of a soda bottle? Look at those rings. Alright, I think this is one where we just have to wait and see how it dries. So guys, get that out of the way. I adore you, and I'll be back your time in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I have had an inspiration. Bum, bum, bum. I'm back, and yes, I'm going to turn it. I quite like it looking that way. And I feel like it needs something else through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of string. If I can find my string, it's gone walkabout. Found it. So I've got this string, and this is the string that I hang my pendants on. I've also bought some other stuff, but I think this might do a really cool job. And I'm going to use the iridescent medium rather than, a lot of people use white, but I've already got the iridescent medium in this painting, so that's what I'm going to use. Now, so if you can't see what I'm doing, I have dipped this into the medium, and this is what's called a string pour. Alright, and try not to drip the paint into the painting. And I'm not sure if this string is going to be pliable enough. Let's give it a go. So I've laid it down in there, and then I'm just gonna pull, 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 and then I'm just going to let that flow back up a little bit. So this string's probably not ideal for this job. Interesting. I just want to put my fingers in it. Okay. So, if I want to put my fingers in it, what am I trying to tell myself? How's that looking? Better? So string pulls don't seem to be my talent. If you look back over all the paintings that I've done with string pulls in. If you're trying to make something look like it's attached, attach it. Give it a stem that's going somewhere. I just want a little bit more up there. There we go. That's better. I like it better now. Okay, people. My sweet, sweet people. Thank you for sticking with me on this one. Just gonna make those look less like blobs. Nice. That now looks cooler. I like it. I do. I do, I do. How's it getting any better than that, guys? Alright, me and my bunch of flowers are going to go away and dry. My ice flowers in a fiery land. So 3, 2, 1. Wow, I'm so glad I added those flowers because this has dried super, super dark. There are, you can see the green, you can see the orange, and in certain lights it looks quite bright, but as an overall picture it's quite dark. So I'm super glad I added these. I really like it. Definitely, to me, it needs to be hung as a diamond like that. Let me know which way would you hang it. Dried flower arrangement upside down. Yeah, which way would you hang it? It almost looks 3D at times. It's very cool. I like it. Actually, they look like silver daffodils. It's Daffodil Day coming up tomorrow. Today. Whatever day. 1st of September is Daffodil Day, I believe. Which I think is going to be the day this is live. So, how cool is that? Daffodil Day in New Zealand is because daffodils spring. 1st of September is the first day of spring in New Zealand, and Daffodil Day is where they sell daffodils collecting money for the Cancer Foundation, cancer research, etc, etc. So if you're in New Zealand, jump in there, make your donation if that's what you want to do. If not, don't beat yourself up, because who cares? You do what works for you, and that will create more fun, more ease, and more joy in your body and in your life and in everybody else's life that you're around, because they will perceive the joy in your world. So how much fun can you have choosing to live, and how much joy can you add to your living? I adore you all. As always, if you want to be the one that gets to snuggle this at night, might be a bit pointed corners, I don't know. Let me know, touch base with me, and let's do a deal. What price would you be willing to pay? How much can you afford? What were you choosing? I don't know, up to you. Anyway, if you want to have some more fun with a whole group of people, come join us on Acrylic Pouring for Fun. We have a new challenge starting today. I'm going to say this is coming out on Saturday, so there we go. Starting today, new challenge, 1st of September, for the month of September. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to pour paint either on, through, or for something for the bathroom. You might do the toilet seat. You might do the soap dispenser. You might pour it through a loofah. You might, the thoughts are endless. What magic can you create? What are you choosing? And come join us on Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group and check it out in the events. That's where you will find this event. And this one's not for that, obviously. Well, not obviously. It's not for it, but what can you choose? What can you create? And how much fun can you have doing it? I adore you all. Bye-bye.